Okay, so I've just watched episode 2 of Alien Earth. I love this show. This is great. So I know now where they dropped the 2 episodes first, because it's very much sort of like the first episode's like world building, so it's a bit slower paced. The second episode we get a lot more horror, a little bit more action, all that sort of stuff. So it's just really built a bit more. So that's why they definitely dropped the 2. So they wanted to give you that slow world building, then the horror side of it. Now I will say that I love what I think are the influence of this film. They've sort of got influences from Blade Runner, they've got influences from the Alien franchise, obviously, and I think they've got influences from Flight of the Navigator, which was an 80s TV show, not an 80s TV show, an 80s movie, sorry, about a boy that was abducted by an alien spacecraft, and on the spacecraft with me is these loads of freaky creatures that are also being like abducted from different planets around the universe. And it's kind of got that vibe to me. I keep getting nostalgic vibes from Flight of the Navigator in this Alien TV show. But anyway, so to pick up where we left off last time, a ship has crashed into a building in the middle of this town, and the sort of area is owned by a company called the Prodigy, and they've sent a team of search and rescue in to try and help people that have been in the building that got hit, and also like anyone left on the spaceship. We've got another team going in, which is a team of synthetic like androids, but these guys are different because they've got human conscious. They're the first group of these androids to actually have human conscious transmitted in. So they've taken sick and dying children, put their conscious into these robot bodies. So they're going in as well. And then you've got then you hear it later on in the episode that there's another team about to turn up, which is what you don't see in this episode. It's the Weyland-Yutani team. They're going to send people in as well. But they've already got someone in there because they've got an android in there that crashed with the ship. He was the only sort of, I guess you could say, survivor of the ship that crashed. So everyone else has been killed by the creatures that were on the ship. So we've got our team of like these military / search and rescue guys in there, and they're sort of finding their way around, trying to find more survivors. They get into the building part, and what we find is that the building is kind of like partly damaged as well, and that, so they're going to a stairwell and they've got to go down the stairwell, and they're trying to look for more survivors in the building. But like they sort of got work down a stairwell, and they get kind of split up because the main guy we're kind of focusing on this team is the medic, and it's the brother of the android, sort of the main android girl, Wendy. It's her brother, and he's with this team, and he gets separated because an alien basically comes out. It's where the horror takes over now, because we get a very good alien kind of stalking couple of scenes where this crew are sort of like walking through trying to find survivors, and the alien is lurking in the shadows and stuff behind, like you see him just appear behind, and you see like the tail sort of start there in the screen, so you just dip up and stuff. Real subtle little things like, oh my god, it's there, and you get that tension build that it's there, it's following them, trying to get to them, and it's behind like a load of wires and piping at one point as well. And basically gets his stairwell, and they've got to jump across the stairwell because there's a big bit taken out. They've got to jump across, and as they jump across, obviously the alien comes out and takes the medic and puts him on a different level, so he's separated from everyone. So sort of like, I guess one of our main characters now is separated from the military group that are with him, and he's just a medic. He's not a military trained guy, he's more of a medic. So we've got that going on as well, which is just like, so now you're, oh my god, the threat level's going up. And obviously his sister android is on her way to get him, and we see a little bit more about her as well, that she's been kind of obsessed since turning into an android of looking at her brother on screen, and she's starting to do things that the company Prodigy that built her didn't know she could do. She's like manipulating the screen, she's watching the cameras that are there, so she's more advanced than I think. I think we're going to get that whole like AI, but you've got AI mixed with human intelligence. We're going to get that going on, which could be a real good like storyline in this universe, and you can sort of branch out from that. So we've got that going on, and they turn up. This team of like androids turn up, and already you kind of get a sense of authority that they're going to be they're sort of going in, and the military they're sort of like, okay, so you lot go in. So they go in, and they walk through the thing. They find some more of these strange creatures, because obviously it's not the xenomorphs that are on this ship. There are lots of other strange creatures that have been collected as specimens. And the one they find, there was one you saw earlier on, which was like an octopus with an eye as a head, and he had like multiple eyes on him. Well, you see that later on, and when you see that, it is horror movie horrific. So there was a cat that the creature has embedded itself in its eye. So one of the eyes of the creature is now the cat's eye, and it's just like mutated. It looks like something from Pet Sematary. This thing is messed up. properly good grade. So if you see it, oh my god, it's properly disgusting. I want to see more of the cat because the cat looked horrific. But then the thing comes out, starts running around, so they capture that. There's a weird plant thing growing in the middle of a hallway that's kind of like suspended. It's like a pod. It's kind of just a pod with like a tube bit. And later on, you see like a vine come out with like almost like a plant would have, like the reproductive parts of plants again have in that. The pollen, the stamen, and all that. So I was like, oh, what? Then they don't go back to that yet, but I have a feeling that's coming back soon. That's going to be something really nasty. And also you've got the xenomorphs running around. So we've now got our sort of like main medic guy. He's walking through the place trying to get away from play, like trying to find help for himself now as well as everyone else because he's kind of on his own. All their comms have gone down. They found this out now. I don't know if that's going to be turned out to be deliberate or if it's just like a thing that's happened due to the building crumbling around. So we've got that going on as well. So there's a lot going on in one episode. So we've now got that. We've got, I keep saying we've got, I'm sorry. I'm trying to remember everything. I've literally just come away from it. I'm buzzing from watching it because it's so good. So a medic, he's going around. So he ends up bumping into another one of these Marine soldier search and rescue people. And they find, this bit cracked me up, they find a party. So they open a door, they knock on the door, and this bloke opens up. He's in full-on period clothing, because obviously doing some fancy dress party, like the aristocracy from the periods past and that, with their sort of the big French white wigs and that, and all the white makeup-like stuff. And he's like, oh no, we're having a party. And they're like, but there's a building, like, there's a plane just crashed into your building, you need to get out. And they're like, no, we're just going to keep you enjoying the party. And he slams the door on them. And you're like, what a prick for a start. They're trying to help him, you don't care. And as our medic turns around to the soldiers and says, well, what we're about that, the alien turns up, and it's a proper gruesome death. So the alien basically gets face to face, and then the tongue comes out and punches the guy's face, and you see it just like obliterate him, and then you see the blood everywhere. Then the guy at the pie opens the door again, and the alien just goes in. And you don't see it, but you just hear it, and you kind of get a sense of it, that the alien slaughters everyone in this pie. He just massacres all of them. Or rips them apart, and then like it goes for the guy, and as the guy's pinned down by the alien, our medic guy, so I can't remember their names, the rogue android that was on the ship originally when it crashed appears and shoots the alien, and then covers it in like what I thought was a spray foam, but it's more like a skin, covers the alien in a skin, like he shoots like electric thing to like knock it out, covers it in the skin, so the alien's on the floor, covers it in the skin. And then he shoots the medic guy, just leaves him. Then he takes the alien away. So now the alien's now off. He's trying to take it wherever he wants to go with it. And he disappears off for a bit. So the medic's laying there. And then we get our heroes kind of basically Wendy now finds her brother. And her brother doesn't recognise Wendy because obviously she's now in a synthetic, artificial body where he knew her as a child that had cancer. She's now in a synthetic body. And I will say now that the actor that's with her, the Indian child in an adult cyborg body, is a brilliant actor. He's playing the mind of a child perfectly. Like his mannerisms, the way he's walking, like a kid would just like he's walking like that. When he gets told to do something, he doesn't want to do. He's like, oh, he does the kid. Oh. He does all of the stuff that like my kids do when you ask him to do something, tidy room, like, oh. And he does all that, he like, throws himself a little bit. He's so good. And some of the things he comes out as well, because obviously when he didn't want to reveal the fact that they're looking for her, she's looking for her brother in this like wreckage. But she tells him and says, keep it a secret. And he then basically instantly tells the person next to him. And then when he meets up with the brother, she doesn't want the brother to know straight away. She wants to try and break it to him sort of gently, I suppose. Well, he's like, oh, I've got a secret. You're a sister. And he just basically blurts it out. And then the brother has to come to the realisation that he's like, that's his sister. And he thought she was dead. We find out at this point that he thought she was dead. So he's grieved for her. He's buried her. And now he finds out that she was actually taken away by the boy genius, as she keeps referring to, the guy that runs Prodigy. And she's like alive, like her conscience is there, she's still alive. And he's now got to come to terms. So he keeps like asking a question like, you said this to me when? How did you say this to me? What did you say to me on Christmas morning? And she just comes out, she knows all this stuff. So obviously then he comes to realisation. And then we get the bit, so we go to a room earlier on and they're looking at a monitor. And the guy that he was in Scream 2, he was in Gone in 60 Seconds, I can't remember his name, but a very, very good actor. He's in a lot of Hollywood films. He's got like white hair and this white eyebrows. He kind of reminds me of Rutger Hauer in Blade Runner. That's what I'm saying. I'm getting influences from lots of different sci-fi like films in this movie, this TV show. He kind of looks a bit like him in it because he's got the bleached blonde hair and the white eyebrows. He's looking for a monitor and he sees alien eggs in like a hallway. And it's got like in Alien, the first one, it's got that like mist above it and that weird like light that goes above it. So I was like, oh, instantly I was like, is there a queen on board? Because they've got a lot of eggs down here. And is that just where they kept the eggs that they collected from wherever? Or is there a queen in this ship somewhere? So then I was like, oh, and I'm kind of interested in that. So then, anyway, so later on we see our sort of our heroes, as I like to call them, which is the android, it's the Indian android, Wendy and her brother are sort of like making her through the ship because Wendy says to him, come with us, to the brother. And you can see that her boss, the guy with eyebrow, that sort of like the blonde, bleached blonde guy, saying like, Wendy, what are you doing? Like, no, but she's like, no, come with us anyway, because she's a child and she's also, it's her brother, so she's not going to leave him behind. Also is the fact that that's the reason she came. Well, as soon as she finds out where he is, she just goes to go get him. Her goal here is to save her brother and see her brother. It's nothing to do with the mission as much. She's using that as a cover to go to her brother, which is another good thing. It's kind of her manipulating the system and her creators a little bit, which is another thing I think they're going to touch on later, that Wendy isn't what they thought she was. And I think, if I'm right, they're going to go down the road of where they're going to try and go against Wendy, and I think Wendy's going to go against them in the end. I've just got a weird feeling I've got a weird feeling we're going to see like a robot revolt, if you know what I mean. That's just where I think we're going. Also, we're getting a massive like corporation war, because obviously the Yutani Corporation own another section of the planet. You've got Prodigy on this section of the planet, and they want their stuff back. So that's where we're going for the next episode as well. He's going to get this like corporation war, and I think we might jumpstart an actual war on the planet for control. I just have a weird feeling that's where we're going with this one. So now we've also got the fact that there's like an Overwatcher, which is this boy genius that they keep referring to him as. He's the owner of Prodigy company, and he's overseeing everything, and he seems to be enjoying overseeing everything. And he said he wants whatever's on that ship, he wants it. He wants that like with a passion. That's why he sent his crew in as well. So he's seen all these creatures, and you can see he's like because he also said earlier on in the episode that he wants to have a conversation with someone smarter than him, because he doesn't know anyone smarter than him, and he was hoping Wendy would become that using the computer side of her brain and the human side and teaching her stuff. She would become kind of his intellectual equal, maybe the only one that could, because he's so clever. So we've got that as another thing going on as well. So there's so much packed into this like hour episode where you're learning so much more, and you're getting this action stuff as well. So the episode ends with our hero going to where the alien eggs are, finding the eggs, and you get a scene where I was like, oh, I actually said all quite loudly, oh, don't do that, you idiot, don't do that. Where you see the alien eggs all in this, under this like field of like smoke and the little laser thing above them. And the medic, Wendy's brother, goes down to the egg, and the egg's sort of like here, and you sort of see it start twitching to open, and I'm like, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. Then Wendy, which we saw her get earlier, she could hear something. She can hear like a weird like crackling noise in her ear. She heard it when we first got to the ship, and she starts to hear it again. And as she's hearing it, we get an alien coming towards them, and this alien is like going down the corridors, up the walls. You know, you've seen it like in Alien 3, you saw a lot where the alien would run up the walls and stuff like that. You get that kind of a shot. And they're sort of looking at the eggs, and suddenly an alien comes from nowhere, and it knocks her brother over the edge of this like damaged part of the ship, and he goes down. And it's like, oh my God, he's gone down there with the alien. And then Wendy's like, right, to the Indian guy, like, you stay here. And she says, scramble the eggs. I don't know if she means like pick them all up, or she means smash them all, I don't know. She said, scramble the eggs. And she goes after him. So now I'm like, oh, so now we've got more drama. This show is good on drama. And we've got to wait a week to see the next one. It's not back in the day when you used to get TV shows that were on every week, like weekly episodes. You watch like Buffy the Vampire Slayer or the X-Files, and it would end on like a cliffhanger. You're like, oh, I've got to wait a week. This is me now. It's like back in the day. Brilliant. So I'm now waiting a week to see the next one. I really can't wait for it. I want to know where they're going to go. I love the philosophy in this show. I love what they're trying to say in this show about sort of like corporations and AI and putting a consciousness in. I love the fact that it's children's consciousness into adult robot bodies because they're acting like children. And I think one of them, the redhead girl one, I think she's going to have a breakdown. I think she's traumatized by the transfer and seeing her own dead body, because in the previous episode we saw her kind of look at that a bit weirdly. So I think we're going to see something wrong there. And I think we're going to start to see some of, because obviously in the Alien franchise, some of the androids, like in the very first one, they go a bit wrong. Like their wiring gets a bit screwed up. And this is a new, almost prototype line of androids with human consciousness. I think things are going to go wrong. And I think we're going to see that as the show evolves. So we've got a lot more episodes to go. This thing's going for a while. And I am buzzing for it. I think this is a great show and I cannot wait for the next episode. So I think it's Tuesday it's coming out again. So you'll probably see me again on one of these episodes on the Tuesday. Again, let me know what you think. Are you getting Flight of the Navigator vibe? It's the most vibe I'm getting from this thing. I want to go out now. I might go to CX and try and find Flight of the Navigator to watch it again, because I remember watching it when I was a kid. A couple of times I watched that film. I rented it a few times in a video shop. I think I might have even taped off the telly once as well and watched it a few times then. I just remember there was this little creature that hung upside down. That was the cutest little thing ever. It's kind of like with little bat ears. Oh, anyway, and a big eye. So, and more of these creatures. And I think, because like one thing that the guy said was that if they escape and they breed, it's too late. So whatever's on that ship, if it escapes and breeds, they're like, it's too late. The aliens are already breeding, because the fact they've already got their eggs in there, we know it's not just one xenomorph, there could be more coming. So as soon as those eggs start hatching, there's a lot of people running around that building, you know. The only negative I still have with this show is some of the CGI is a bit ropey. Like when the alien is what looks like practical, it looks pretty good. When it's CGI, it jumps through glass and jumps down at him at one point, it did look very CGI-y. So that's my only criticism so far. Everything else is good. I like the acting, I like the characters, I like where we're going. I'm caring about the characters. Definitely I'm caring about the Wendy character and where she's going. The Indian guy is hilarious. I do not want him to die, so that means I'm obviously caring about him. The brother, the medic brother, I've not got a connection with him as much yet, but a lot of the other soldiers you don't really care much about, but you do get a sense of like you don't want some of these people to die, which is what makes a show good for me. If I care what's going to happen to these people, then I care about the show or the film I'm watching. If I don't care, if I'm watching a slasher movie and I just want them all to die because I don't care, it's not as invested. But if you're watching a slasher movie and you want them to survive, you care about the people, you really don't want them to die, that's a better movie. And this is what I get from this TV show, that I do not want these people to die. So I'm looking forward to the next episode. So let me know what you think of it. Put in the comments how you felt. Have you enjoyed it so far? Are you going to be watching the next one? Or is it not your cup of tea? So let me know what you think. And I'll see you guys next week for another episode of this. But there's also other reviews. I've just reviewed Weapons, by the way. I did that last night. I went and watched that last night. And I loved it. So if you want to watch the review for that, that's on here somewhere. I might put that in the little box up there somewhere, the review for Weapons. So thanks, guys. And enjoy the rest of your day. And see you later.